everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to a Proverbs Home. Today my kitchen is going to be called a farmer's kitchen because I am going to be sharing some products and food that farmers grow, and they're so important. You know, I'm sure many of you have these in your pantry or in your freezer. And the reason I am dressed like back in the 1800s because I think it's so amazing and I love it. And I love the dresses that the women wore, and they wore bonnets. Farmers' wives used to wear bonnets back in the 1800s, early 1900s. They would wear their bonnets, and they had like huge front covering, so when they were out in the sun. They worked very hard on their farms. Can you hear that? That is my old-fashioned vintage coffee maker. It's a coffee percolator, that's what I call it. And I bought that a long time ago. I think it was at a yard sale, an estate sale. I saw it and I thought it was so neat. So right now I am making coffee. Now we do have a coffee pot, but you know, coffee was very important to farmers. They would rise up early at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. They still do, by the way. And they will be out ready to go. And the coffee would be on the stove percolating, ready for the farmers to have their coffee. So coffee was a huge part of farming, and it still is. Many people love to drink coffee in the morning. It just gives them kind of a boost. So I decided to make me some nice coffee. Now in Puerto Rico, there is a coffee called Bustelo, and I have that coffee also. It is a very rich coffee. You can also make it as a cappuccino. It is just very, very delicious. So coffee is very important to farmers. I think it's important, if you find one of these coffee pots, to get yourself one, to buy one, to have one in your home, because you never know, your coffee maker could break down. So it's good to have one of these because you can always put it over a campfire also. These are some of the things that our farmers grow. They love to grow oats. They do grow oats here in New York, in upstate New York. I love oats. Oats can be used for so many things, and these are rolled oats. You can make cookies and desserts with these. It is so good. Then there's the regular oatmeal that I like to use. I like to have a nice warm bowl of oatmeal either at night or early in the morning. Put some fruit on top and enjoy it. And talking about fruit, strawberries. Here in upstate New York, we are known for our strawberry patches. And we love going to pick strawberries during the summertime. During harvest time is a great time to pick strawberries right off the farm. They're so delicious, but of course, these weren't picked off the farm. These are frozen strawberries. I don't have any strawberries right now, but these frozen ones, but these are great for smoothies. And we thank God for our farmers because they go and they work so hard so we can have fresh strawberries during harvest time. And then cheese also. We're very known here upstate for New York for our cheese and our yogurt. Those are also things farmers, they have cows and they raise cows and calves and cattle. So cheese is important, and I love cheese. Of course, everyone knows about the eggs. If you have a farm, if you have chickens, I'm sure that you love getting your eggs from your chickens and your ducks. They're just really amazing to have eggs. We have a lady at my job that brought us eggs all the time, but I think that her chickens now are on a hiatus. So we love eggs. I love cooking with eggs, and you're going to see something special that I'm going to make right at the end of this video for lunch with eggs and rice. It is a thing that we have here is syrup. Syrup is very well known here, especially in our greenhouses. If you're looking for syrup, you can go to any greenhouse and you'll find maple syrup. We love the natural syrup, even though I do get log cabin syrup. I still use that. You know, it's good to have it. But we do like the natural syrup, the raw syrup. It is really good. Also, raw honey. Raw honey is great. Now, this raw honey is from Walmart. That's where we got it because my husband picked up another one the other day because the one that we had was just, we used it all. Because I had a cold, my husband had a cold, kept putting it in tea. Raw honey is great for tea. Now, you know me, I always have my notes when I'm making one of these videos. Actually. So I wrote a note, and honey is used for different purposes. Now, I remember my mom using honey when we were sick. She used it for coughs. But do you know that you can use honey also for burns and to heal a wound? Honey can be used for so many things. Our farmers also make honey. There are many farmers around here that are bee farmers, that are beekeepers, and they make amazing honey. We love raw honey. I love putting honey inside of my tea. It is delicious. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I'll take a spoonful of honey and it helps the medicine go down. Medicine go down. I know it's a spoonful of sugar, but yes, a spoonful of honey after you take some medicine, it just makes it taste a little better. But honey is great to use honey in different recipes. You can pour it over granola also. And I have the small one here. Now, if everybody's seen the bear honey, right? The little bears. I love the ones that have like the bears. The bear container. They're just so cute, and I like to keep the containers. They're adorable. Some of the grains that we grow in New York are barley, malting barley, oats, soybean, wheat, and corn. Corn is definitely a big grain that we grow here in New York. All you have to do is drive down the fields and you see all the corn stalks, and it's just really amazing. So we do love our corn, and we love our sweet corn. New York is definitely known for its sweet corn. Also grain for wheat flour and different things. Farmers grow a lot of grain, and we have our flour, and that's also important. Now in Puerto Rico, I was looking up some history in Puerto Rico, and one thing in Puerto Rico that we like is this, and we do because I remember my mom making this when I was little, and I still make it, and this is cornmeal. Cornmeal is something in Puerto Rico that they do grow, and the farmers do eat a lot for breakfast. They cook early in the morning. Wives are up early cooking, making great meals. Do you remember? I remember my mom sometimes cooking at night, and we would be in bed. You could smell all the delicious food, especially when we were going on our trips and stuff. My mom would spend all night cooking on the stove, and then in the morning she would have a pot of fried chicken and rice and so many different things. I think we've lost so many of our important values. Our farmers are so important, no matter what part of the world they're in. In America, our farmers, we need to support them, because without our farmers, we don't get all these delicious foods that you see on this table without our farmers. Of course, we are very well known here for our apple groves. We are very well known for so many different delicious apples. If you're looking for delicious apples to eat, upstate New York is a great place to go to the apple groves and pick apples during harvest time. You can get a huge bushel of apples for very inexpensive, and they are delicious. That is something we do. We do have an apple tree in front of our home. So we do get apples, but our apples don't grow as big as these are. And I just love apples. Apples are great for everything. They're great for apple crisp and all kind of delicious foods. And as you know, our farmers love to grow vegetables. And we grow vegetables. We grow vegetables in our backyard, in our garden. You know, vegetables are so important to have. This is a type of squash. Now, it has kind of a funny name to it, so I'm not even going to say the name because I'm going to mess it up.
Delicata.
But this is so good. You can chop this up, and we like to put seasoning on it and put it in the oven, and it tastes absolutely delicious. So you can make squash from this. It's a type of squash. There's a name to it, and the shell is a little harder, and you don't have to peel them when you make them. So farmers love to grow these too. So let's go on ahead, and I'm going to go on ahead and check the coffee. Let's see how the coffee comes out. I'm going to get my cup. First, I got to wear my glove here because I'm going to make sure I don't spill it. You know, farmers' wives, they got dressed early in the morning. They wore their pretty dresses. They covered their heads. They did all kind of things like that. So let's go on ahead and let's pour me some coffee. Oh, it smells so nice and rich. By the way, this coffee that I'm pouring, this coffee is Folgers coffee. And I do have to add some milk because I am the type that have to drink creamer or milk with coffee. Milk is important to me when I'm drinking coffee because I'm not a huge coffee drinker. So I have to have my milk. Stir my coffee. But you know, I always wonder when I was younger, why did they change the time? Why do we change the time come spring? And they did that for farmers. That's why they did it. They changed the time in the spring so farmers, when they get up, they have sunlight. That is very rich coffee. This is what I made. I made rice with fried egg and ketchup. It is definitely a Puerto Rican treat. Not something that we eat all the time, but it's something that they would eat for breakfast in the morning. And the farmers used to eat this and they thought it was delicious. So I haven't had this in a very long time. So I'm gonna go on ahead and try it. And if you like fried eggs and if you like rice, this is a dish that you're gonna like, that you're gonna really enjoy. It is so good. Jíbaro in English means hillbilly. So if you worked and you lived in the country and you lived in the mountains, you were called a hillbilly, a jíbaro. And these are kind of the foods people would eat. So delicious. I decided to use a towel because I do have napkins. But back then, they didn't waste money on napkins. They did use napkins, but they were made out of cloth. Yeah, pretty cool. And you know, the Bronx used to be farmland. Back in 1639, farmland. A man by the name of Jonas Bronx, he came from the Netherlands. He was actually Dutch and moved to New York. And he brought the land. And that's why they call it the Bronx, because they call it after his last name. So they used to be all farmland industry. And they used to buy corn and crops and different things from the Bronx. But then they turned it into buildings, factories, people that were coming from other countries moving there that were poor, thinking they were going to be coming to the Bronx and they were going to get good jobs and they were going to do well, to find that there really wasn't any of that for them. So the neighborhood started getting really bad. I grew up in the Bronx, and now there's parts of the Bronx that are really nice areas, but then there are parts that are not that nice, that are not that safe to walk around in. I am from the Bronx, and I thank God that's where I'm from, because I experienced a lot of wonderful things also living there and being raised by my parents, and I thank God that they kept me out of the things that were not good by taking us to church, telling us about God. Puerto Rican dish, traditional, easy. I don't even have to put the recipe up. Make some white rice or whatever kind of rice you like. I think white rice is the best. Fry up some eggs, put it on top, add some ketchup, and it's absolutely delicious. You know, our farmers are so important. all the things that we have in our pantry and our home, majority of all of it comes from America, and it comes from our farmers. They work hard so we could have these things. Without our farmers, we wouldn't have any of it. We need to really, really support our farmers. If you live in the country, try to support your farmers. Try to buy your eggs from your farmers or from people who raise chickens. I mean, I think that's very important. You know, coffee is important. These kind of things come from farm people that work the coffee fields, get the coffee beans in other countries so we can have coffee. Those are farmers. Yeah, they may pick coffee beans, but they're still farmers. And without them, we wouldn't be having our delicious coffees from all over the world. Our grains are so important. Our poultry, our meat, you know, the cows that they raise, our milk, the milk that we drink, the milk that our children get to taste of, and the chocolate milk they get to drink. It's so funny because I always tell my grandkids, chocolate comes from a chocolate cow. And they think it's funny. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was different. I wanted to do something fun today. Fun that you enjoy. If you have those bonnets, get them out and wear them just for fun. Wear them around your home. You know, just, I like them. I think they're fun to wear. I just hope nobody knocks at the door because they'll be like, what are you doing? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. May God bless you. I'm going to get back to eating my lunch because this is so good. This is so delicious. You know, we have all these different cultures around the world that God's given us that we can learn so much from, and we could try their different foods. Farmers to your farmers. Bye.